Hey guys, so what we are doing today is we're going to be putting a Teraflex Outback lift on this Jeep. As you've watched in the other videos, this Jeep you've probably seen before. He does have the Krawler X Factor lift on this particular one. The reason that we are going to be changing this out is that he does have an off-road trailer and does a lot of overlanding, and he gets about a 2-inch squat on this Jeep when he hooks up his trailer. So it kind of makes it a bit of a pain in the butt because he does have to adjust his headlights every time so he's not blinding oncoming traffic and whatnot. But anyway, we're going to put this Teraflex lift on. It's got the Krawler lift for sale, so if anybody out there does need one, it's an X Factor and it comes with all the parts and pieces. So anyway, we're just going to get this thing going, and we'll keep you guys updated on everything that we have to do.
Good?
I'm on. Still good.
Yeah.
Steven?
So we just had Mr. Mike spit out all his beer. All we're doing right here right now is just getting our Krawler track bar off it. He's got a Teraflex track bar that's going on. Just had to grab the breaker bar to get that piece off. So we are just getting the rear shocks out of here. We got to do the sway bar disconnects, and then the next thing to do would be the springs. You can see Mike is just getting that other shock out there now. And then the rear track bar actually has to come off. Okay, so as you can see, we have got the springs out. We had wedges and the spring retainers in there and things of that sort. So we got all that stuff out. So we are just about ready to put the rear springs in, but we'll see. We may end up doing the arms here first and whatnot, but let's see what these guys have in the front here. They got the track bar out, and looks like they're getting a new track bar in. So we'll check up with that. Just interested to see how this shaft brace works with this track bar, this Teraflex forged track bar. So you can see there. But anyway, we'll let these guys do their thing there, and we'll check in with them. So just a little update. We have to cut the bottom of that off really well. It's got to be nice and level so that when you push up the bump stop in there, that it sits nice and level. And then you put a clamp on the top, and away we go. So be interesting to see those things in action. But just to give you a sort of a recap, we have the new track bar in place, just not bolted up on this end here, but it's all adjusted. In the back here, we've got the lower control arm on this side completed. We've got to do yet the upper. We do have the bracket here, the Teraflex bracket that holds your track bar in the rear. You got your U-bolts at the back there, another bolt that goes through the bottom here of the track bar brace. And yeah, so everything's kind of going not too bad. We got to get this one here all figured out. But these are the new Teraflex lower control arms. What's really nice about these, they come with anti-seize already on the threads. And then the clamp here, these Allen wrench bolts here, those are at 30 foot-pounds. So very easy to get tightened up and things of that sort. But anyway.
Not a lot of swinging room.
So
3 elevation books.
These little pockets here, they have to snap in. You'll know when they do snap in. It does take a lot of beating. We put a 2x4 on the bottom and beat it with a 3-pound, but that'll go in, and then you'll hear it when it finally does go. Okay, so you can see here we got the bump stop all in. We've got the shock in. This little bump stop here was a little bit of a bear to put in, but we'll just take you a little bit of time. But anyway, you can see how that sits really nice. And we've got the other side we got to get all actually, and then the other side we got this one all done here too. So as you can see, everything's looking good. We just got to do the upper control arms there. We've got our upper control arms done on this side and as well as here at the back. As you can see there, so we just got to get that bolt tightened up and get that in. But I mean, other than that, we're... Okay, so we've got the bump stops right there in the back. Like I said, all our arms on. We've got everything marked as well, so we know if anything starts to back off. But next thing we got to do is just tighten up our rear sway bar. We got to tighten that up. The bracket that's on the axle and everything, we got to tighten all that up as well. Put our rear shocks on. We just don't have any hardware for the sway bar, so that's going to stay off until we can get the hardware for that. But that's Rob's got that all at home. So anyway, but this lift is coming along really nice. It's going to be interesting to see how it sits. I know Teraflex does state that this lift, it's their Outback lift, so it does handle a lot more weight. So. And that is the main reason why he's getting this lift put on, because with the Krawler lift, it did squat down a fair bit. He said he lost about 2 inches, and then, you know, you lose that much in the back, and you just have issues with your headlights and pointing them in the right direction and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so we'll just keep you up to date on what we're doing. Oh, we pretty much got the back all buttoned up. Got the shocks in now. We just got to tighten up our drag link bolts. Got to tighten up the shock bolts. We've got the springs in place. Got the springs in place, as you can see there. So we pretty much got the back all buttoned up, other than the rear sway bars, just because the hardware's he's got at home, and he's going to do it a little bit later. So other than that, oh, and also we're doing the brake lines as well. He did get brake lines, front brake lines with this kit. These brake lines were with the Krawler, so he's selling it with that. And he just got some Teraflex brake lines that we're going to put on. So anyway, once we get going on that, we're going to get working on the front here. We just have to do the upper and lower control arms. We get the upper, or the lower ones out. Now we just got to get the upper one out. Getting these speed bumps in, we came across this box, which had these. I guess they do have to go in to help support the speed bump itself, so they've got to go up in there, but up over the edge there just gives that more support in here. So we got to kind of backtrack, get everything off, get the spring back out, and put these in place. Okay, so when if you do get this Outback lift, just remember to do the buckets that you get with it. We found it in a separate box. It didn't say anything in the instructions for it. We looked online. We ended up having to call Teraflex to get this figured out. But anyway, the buckets did have to go in. You got to drill 3 holes that these bolts here. There's one back there that attach the buckets in that respect. So it just gives it the stability that the perch is going to have for the speed bump in that respect. But anyway, we've pretty much got the whole front end all buttoned up. We've got the upper and lower control arms on both the left and right side. Sway bars on in the front, and your new little connectors here, and then we've got that installed up there. As far as the back, other than the brake lines, I think, and the retainer spring clips, these are a bear. These clips right here, it's a 3/4 inch nut on the back side, and it is difficult. If you can get a really small framed 3/4 inch wrench to do it with, that's probably your best bet. We didn't have one. We ended up using just prying the nut in behind there with a screwdriver just to get it so it would spin on. But anyway, this thing is looking pretty good. Like I said, we're just about done. But anyway, I think Teraflex says that it's a 3-inch lift. I think realistically he's probably going to get 3.5, maybe even a little bit more. We're going to go for a little drive after it's all put together just to see, because Teraflex does say that it, with this being the Outback, that the spring rate's going to be a little bit stiffer. So I guess we'll see. It's one of the main reasons why he bought it. So when he's hauling his trailer, he doesn't get that sag with it. So anyway, we got the top portion of the limiting strap in place. We've got the spring retainer back here. That's got to be slid into place. On this side, we are working, actually the strap limiter is on that one as well. Spring clip right there. There's our strap right there. In the back, we are working on the spring clip up here, and it's in a very precarious position. You can see it up in there. Really tough to get at. That one there, you've got to get at the nut from the top here. It's the only way to do it, and have somebody get that bolt up and through there with the clip, because that's pretty tough. We've got this one over here all done. We've got this one done, so you can see it up there. I'm not sure where it is. Yeah, it's right there. So anyway, and then we have our bottom retainer clip there. We got to do it on the other side as well. So we got to get that done. So we're probably about an hour from being complete. This has taken us most of the day, just because the everything that we've had to do.
Yep. So I just need you to hold. So then we actually tighten it a little bit more by hand.
That's for the limiting strap. So there you can see the nutsert goes right in one of the holes that's in the frame of the body already, or the frame. There are holes in the frame. We are 95% complete. It is drivable now. Just the limiting straps have to be completed in the back, and we've got to do all the brake lines as well. But pretty much everything is done. As you can see, she sits quite nice. The 3.5-inch rock crawler that was taken off it. This with a 3-inch Teraflex actually sits about a 1/2 inch taller than what it did with the rock crawler. So that we attribute to possibly the stiffer springs that we've put on this thing. So next thing would be just a test drive, just to get it out there and just see how she handles and whatnot. But anyway, yeah, she's looking good, and hopefully this takes care of his squatting issue that he gets when he's hauling his trailer. He's got an M101 trailer. I'll get a shot of that as well so you can see what he's got. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to let me know. And again, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.